Hello brain lovers, Gregory here from the Brain Academy. You know, lately with almost everybody I've been speaking to, I hear the same story. People are tired of this whole pandemic. They have depressive symptoms and some even go into full-blown burnout, you know. Others start to ignore the most basic rules to keep us safe. People have been complaining right from the start of the pandemic, but this time it's different, you know. It's like something is breaking inside, slowly, like metal being bent. So what's happening here? Well, there are three things I want to talk about that are causing this, and more importantly, how to overcome each of them. First is the fact that we're now in a constant state of alert.
Houston, we have a problem.
We have to be on our guards constantly. Everybody and everything can be a potential source of infection. Even our most trusted friends and closest family members become suspicious. No one can be trusted. Not even things, you know. Things like letters and packages in the mail or our groceries or the ATM number pad. Everything becomes a potential threat. So we're living with this constant shadow that follows us wherever we are. And sure, we can live like that for a short period of time. If we're capable of heightened alertness, it's because nature intended us to be able to do that. It helps us deal with potential dangerous situations.
That's what I'm talking about, guys. We've made a great effort so far. Let's just keep it up.
But nature did not intend us to live in a constant state of alertness. It's not good. It's not healthy. We're basically living in a state of chronic stress.
We can't have anyone freak out there, okay? We've got to keep our composure. We've come too far. There's too much to lose. We've got to just keep our composure.
And our amygdala, the center for fear and aggression in our brain, becomes more sensitive and we become more jumpy, more moody. The higher levels of cortisol in our body disrupt all kinds of natural processes like digestion and sleep. And cortisol attacks our brain. It physically attacks our brain. More specifically, our hippocampus. Our hippocampus is involved in memory consolidation, but also, and more importantly, in neurogenesis. It is one of the very few places in our brain where we grow new neurons. And a low neurogenesis correlates with things like depression, anxiety, low energy, negativism, and so on.
Is it just me? Or is it getting crazier out there?
It is certainly tense.
Well, this doesn't happen overnight, of course. It takes time, a lot of time. Well, it's been a year. That's plenty of time. Secondly, we've been touched in the core of who we are as a species. We are social beings. It is the very essence of our humanity. We never would have become the dominant species on this planet without it. It's not only that we're capable of interaction and communication and working together.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
It goes further than that. You see, we have internalized those interactions to the point that we need them. If we want to feel good, to be healthy, balanced individuals, mentally stable and thriving, it goes through the others. When we are with others, with the people we love and trust, we release oxytocin. And oxytocin is the bonding hormone. It makes us feel good and safe, it helps us generate trust. And now, well, we can't trust. We have to distrust everybody, all the time. No one is safe. It is in our nature to yearn for the other, and now we can't act upon that. And last but not least is seasonality. We're at the end of the winter. It's been cold, in some places really cold, but it's not the cold that is the issue here. It's the lack of daylight, and with it, the lack of vitamin D. This lack of vitamin D also strongly affects our neurogenesis, which I talked about earlier. It takes neurons about 3 to 4 weeks to grow, and the shortest days of the year are behind us, but it's only now that we're really feeling the effect of that on our neuronal system. So take those three elements together. The constant state of alertness, which generates cortisol, the lack of social contact and thus oxytocin, and the lack of vitamin D affecting our neurogenesis, and you get the perfect chemical cocktail to have us all collectively fall into a sense of despair. Now, people react to adverse situations in two ways, depending on how they perceive their level of control. When we feel we have no control over a situation, well, we fall into what psychologists call a state of helplessness. We just stop trying.
Oh, fuck it.
There's nothing we can do anyway, so why even try? There have been tons of studies and research on this subject. Take away the sense of control and people will just give up. And with COVID, there's so much uncertainty. Uncertainty about who is to trust, how long will it last, how bad could it be if we get it, when will we get the vaccine, will it protect against the mutation of the virus? The list seems endless. There is no control.
The uncertainty principle. It proves we can't ever really know what's going on.
And so the feeling of helplessness grows. So some people decide to act, to take back control. And they do that by not following the rules anymore. It gives them a false sense of control and they put themselves and others at risk. They come up with conspiracy theories or minimize the risk to legitimate their anti-social behavior. Now, I'm not saying it's healthier or better than the other reaction. I'm just saying I understand. It's a coping mechanism, but a dangerous one though. So what's left? What are we to do? Well, helplessness in any situation is a bad choice. So we should go for taking back control. Not by denying the existence of the threat, of course, but by adapting and finding alternatives to those things we don't have access to. Well, a great way to lower cortisol levels is through sports.
Ow! Great. Very good.
Oh, Gregory, but I can't play the sports I used to do. Well, so what? Put on your running shoes and go running. That's not an option? Well, I don't know, join an aerobic class online or put on your favorite music and start to dance. I know it's not the same. That's the whole point of adaptation. It's the very definition of it, right? Not doing the same thing anymore and doing something else to compensate. But be creative. Do something. The same for oxytocin. Call people, FaceTime, Skype, whatever. There's enough technology available. If all else fails, well, get a cat or a dog. The dog will force you to go out and walk, which is always a good thing. And petting a cat or dog, or a rabbit or whatever, well, that petting will also have you release oxytocin. So that's a solution. It could be the start of an amazing friendship, right?
I think this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
And again, that's up to you. It's your choice. You're in charge. And the lack of vitamin D, well, get supplements or some of those special lights or take some time to take in that frail end of winter sun. It does feel delicious. Whatever you do, take back control.
You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
Be the one calling the shots. Shots? See what I'm doing there? You're the one in charge. You might not be the one finding the cure to beat COVID, but at least don't let it beat you mentally. That you can control. So what have you been doing to beat COVID fatigue? Leave it in the comments below. Hey, and if nothing else works, you can always join us at the Brain Academy. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We have new episodes of this vlog coming out every week. And if you want the real stuff, you go to brainacademy.com, join our 300,000 students and start using your brain better. Brain out.
Sharpen your mind.